Welcome to this week's episode of Your Stock Request for the 12th of November. Hi, I'm Michael Gable, Managing Director of Fairmont Equities. Your Stock Request is the weekly video where I take your requests and analyse the share price charts. This week we have Stockland, Wesfarmers, Big Tin Can, Integral Diagnostics and Neuron Pharmaceuticals. So if you have a request, send it through. Make sure you have signed up to our newsletters. If you enjoy these videos, please share them on social media. Even leave us a review on Facebook and Google. Our core business is portfolio management, so if you'd like ongoing advice from me, please let me know and I can explain how that works. And any advice is general only. So we've got a daily chart here of Stockland, so just looking at the price action since the peak in February. So a fairly steady rise since May, of course. Most recently there was a bit of resistance at the June high, but it's popped through that, so that should lead to higher prices. Although if we look a bit closer, the last couple of days it has underperformed the general market, where the market's been pushing quite a bit higher. So very slight concern. I guess if we do see weakness, ideally it'd be nice for it to hold above the breakout. That would be a strong sign. But even if it does drift back, it'll need to hold above this prior low. So preferably if we can get towards sort of $4 and reverse there and basically respect the higher lows, then that would be okay. So just need to keep an eye on it. All right, Wesfarmers. So another one that's traded well since the March lows. However, in terms of the last few months, it's underperformed the market. Of course, the market is basically trading at the highest it's been since March, whereas Wesfarmers has just lagged a little bit. Most recently, we had this what's known as a bearish engulfing pattern here on the daily. So we could see that as it got close to this high, basically it gapped up, and instead of running, it got sold off and closed near the lows, and that price action on that particular day fully enclosed the prior day. So that's a negative sign, and we can see yesterday it couldn't really make much of a dent. So short term it looks a bit negative. I think that it'll consolidate here. Look, the overall trend is still fine, so the longer term trend is okay, but just short term we might expect some weakness, and ideally we need to hold on to this September low near $44. Okay, Big Tin Can. That obviously looks very negative, so the sell down in October wasn't very flat. So unlike previous occasions where any sort of sell-off was pretty flat, here the market really did manage to push it down. However, it's at good support, so we could see that this seems to be a good support level. It's at the prior low, so it's bounced off the right levels, but the rally since then has been a bit feeble. So look, I couldn't really chase it here. This just doesn't look super bullish to me. And obviously if it cracks support, that would be a negative. Okay, Integral Diagnostics. So, yesterday was a good move. It looks like it wants to rally here, especially after getting out of this sort of little range here. But my concern, I'll just zoom in, is this potential double top. So obviously price rejection there, managed to hold on, that's great, but when it had another attempt, it got sold down again, and it's a slightly lower high. So that just has me a bit cautious on this. And obviously if it does come back, you'd have to use this $4 level as a line in the sand. It offered really good support across September, October. To see that break would be a negative. As a positive, I want to see it close above that sort of 450 level. Okay, and Neuron Pharmaceuticals. So interesting chart here. I like the impulsive move up in March, and although it didn't kick on, it rallied for a few weeks, and then it's taken, we could see basically 6 months for it to push all the way back down to that March low. So fairly corrective decline. It's obviously rallied at the right level, so as it tested this March low, it's rallied, and this looks like a strong move, which is good. Good volume as well. So bounce looks strong. I think this rally will have legs. I'd be quite simply, if I was to buy it here, have my stop just under $1, and you'd expect an initial retest of that $1.80 level. So at the moment, as long as it doesn't get too far away from you at the moment, it looks like a decent risk-reward trade. Okay, well that's all for this week. Of course, if you have your request, send it through. I'll try to include your stock next Thursday.